Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another practical Minecraft tutorial. This is Soap the Great, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to build this fairly compact no-climb cow farm. Now I'm not going to chat too much here, instead we're just going to get right into showing you how it works. So what you want to do is you want to grab some wheat. We're going to hit this button and you notice the cows start jumping around. That's because there is now water here, and cows do not just sit in the water, they start jumping. So what that's going to do is that's going to give you a lot more opportunity to get their hitboxes with the wheat for breeding, rather than just going right here in these empty spots. So we're just going to come around here and try and get all of them, and what you're going to do is you're going to wait till you're pretty much not seeing those hearts appear anymore. Okay, and so we still see these. The side benefit, you hear the XP coming in. It's because this area is open, and so the XP will just come right to you. Alright, once it looks like all the hearts are done, and I think we're getting there, just a couple more. You know what, I think we're done there. We're going to turn that off, and that's very important. We'll turn that off. Wait for the cows to settle down, because sometimes they keep jumping. And then we're going to come over here to this button, hit that, and there is a quick lava blade that pops out, and that's going to just get the adults, and that's rather loud. Okay, notice that the adult cows did not die, and that is perfectly fine, because we don't want to get rid of all of them. That would reduce our population by half, at least half each time. I started out with 20 cows, and if I was to kill all of those adult cows, then we would be down to 10 baby cows waiting to grow up. Instead, we now have 30 cows total in the system, and so it's actually on the next round of the breeding that we're going to see any harvesting. Okay, so we're not going to wait for these baby cows to grow up. Instead, I'm just going to use the creative mode spawn cow egg, and we're just going to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so those cows are at full health, those 10. This is simulating the number of babies that are in the system. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull out that wheat again, hit this button, and you notice if it looks like some of them are jumping out, that's just a visual glitch. It is not an actual state of the game. And we're going to breed these up, and this is very important. Breed them up before hitting the harvest button. Okay, breed first, then cook. Breed first, then cook. I'm going to hit that again. Wait for them to settle. You notice they were still jumping around a little bit. Very important. Okay, and we hit this again, and you see that the original 20 that I started out with have now been cooked, or at least been hit by the lava, and we're going to be getting in some raw beef, and we'll wait for that to filter through. And there we go, leather and raw beef, and sometimes you get cooked beef. It just depends on how that, none in there. Okay, and that is it for how to use the system. Let's take a look at building it now. In most of my recent tutorials, you will find a link to the world download in the description below, and this one is no different. So if you want to right now, pause, get that download, and you can load this up and work along with me. Okay, and then unpause. Alright, if you happen to do that, we're going to turn around and we're going to go right here. All the materials you're going to need are right here in this chest. If you want to take a screenshot, here is the overall inventory. Let me just make a note about a few things here. This stone brick right here is a solid block of choice. I would suggest that it is something that does not easily burn, but it must be solid, okay, and it should not be a redstone block. The other thing to note here is I'm using black stained clay, and that is a decorative block. It is still performing some function in the system, so it can be any solid block of your choice. Again, I would say something that does not burn, because this system does involve lava. Okay. The other thing here is the oak wood stairs, and that can be any stairs. And then the furnace, and we'll see that in just a moment. So we are actually going to get started here. Let me gather up all the materials and make sure everything is how I want it. We don't need that. Alright, so we're going to get started with a 3 wide by 5 deep area. We're going to be using this layer right here and 3 additional layers above it, so 4 total. So we're going to go 1 in, okay, and we're going to knock that block out, put in a chest, and then come in behind it, and we're going to put this hopper on the back of that chest. And then what we want to do is come around the front with these stairs, and the reason you want to do this is because that chest is in the ground, okay? So we want to make sure we have as much room as possible to open it up. Alright, now we are going to start by building the user interface. Okay, so first you want to get a dispenser and face it towards the hopper, and then we're going to get a furnace and face it this way, and then we're going to get some of those blocks of choice. We're done with the furnace now, and we're done with the chest, and we'll need the stone right there. Alright, now we'll put that stained clay right there, there, and then a dispenser on this one, and we are technically done with the dispensers. Now what we need to do is pull out stone slab, and we want to put it right here in this position. Same here, okay, and that is going to keep the baby cows and the adult cows in, but it's also going to give you a little bit of room here so you can pick up the XP that comes through. Now, I said I would talk to you about the furnace, and it is going to serve no purpose other than cosmetic. You notice that the texture on the back of the furnace is the same as on the side and back of the dispenser, and that is purely decorative. You can put any block here if you want to. I'm using the furnace to make it so that it is symmetric. Okay, and the reason I'm using a furnace and not a dispenser is because there are redstone signals going through, and I want to minimize interference, but it doesn't really matter. So we are now done with the dispensers. We're going to bring down this button. Alright, and the reason I am using stone buttons is because they give a shorter pulse than wood buttons. It's very important. Not so important on this side, very important on this side. Again, I'm into symmetry, so I'm using stone buttons on both sides. Now, what you want to do is you want to put in the water bucket in this one, and that is the front part all done. Okay, now we're going to go around to the back, and on this block I'm going to put a redstone torch, and you heard that little click, and that is perfectly fine. What we want to do is get 2 hoppers facing into each other. So you start off with just placing one and then facing this one into it, and then destroying it and putting that one back in. You notice how the hoppers point into each other like that, and that is ready to go. This is going to be a quick lock mechanism. Now inside this hopper you want to put an item that does not stack, so that can be any tool, armor, weapon, potion, or even a full bucket, milk, water, or lava. I'm using a wooden shovel because it's fairly cheap to obtain, but the reason you want to do that is because we are going to be pulling the signal out of this hopper with the comparator. Okay, and we need that signal to go all the way up to this dispenser, so that wooden shovel is going to give a much higher signal output from that comparator than something that stacks to, say, 16 or 64. So we're going to run the comparator into this solid block of choice, and then we're going to put a piece of redstone dust on top, and then on the back of this dispenser we're going to put a stone slab, and it's got to be on the top side. We're just going to run redstone dust all the way up, so it's going to go up, onto the slab and then onto the dispenser. We're going to give it a quick test before we put lava in there. It's just very important. You should hear 2 clicks in quick succession. Ready? There we go. So what is happening is this button is going, when it depresses, it's going to send a signal into this clay block, which is going to turn off this torch, which will unlock this hopper and allow the stone shovel to go into this hopper. When that stone shovel goes into this hopper, this comparator is going to read an output of 3, I believe, and that's going to go all the way up and hit this dispenser. Now because this hopper is not locked, this shovel is going to go back in here, and when it does, by that point the signal from the button has stopped, and so this torch turns back on, and the wooden shovel is going to stay in this hopper, and when this redstone torch comes back on, it is going to power that dispenser again. So the initial push for the lava is going to come from this quick pulse out of the comparator, and the one to pull the lava back in is going to come from this torch right here. So now we're ready to put that lava bucket back in. Okay, and then we need to fill this with cows just to give it something to work with. Okay, and we're gonna put what we need in our hotbar. We'll just put a few in here. I'm not counting. Alright, and we're all done there. Let's hit this. There we go. Breed. And then we should be getting some XP. And we're done. We'll hit... Oh, wait for him to stop jumping. Okay. And there we go. And they will stop burning at some point. Alright. And then we can do this again. Well, we've got a few that didn't get in the first round. Hit that. Jumpy guy. There we go. And now we can pick up our steak and leather and be on our way. Alright, that is one particular design. It is the most compact of this, but you may note that there is a slight problem. Notice that redstone right there? That is on top of the dispenser, and say you wanted to slot this in somewhere and then build a little bit of a design over top of it. You still need to keep this area open so that the cows have room to jump, otherwise you won't be able to breed them as easily. But you are not able to put anything on top of this dispenser because the redstone dust is there, so that limits your design options a little bit. So what I've done is I've come up with another variety. Okay, and we're going to build that real quick. It is a little bit deeper. Okay, we're going to go 6 deep instead of 5. Okay, and instead of putting that hopper succession right there, we're just going to build up a little bit. Get rid of these, pull this back down, and we should have everything we need here. Yep. So just a quick block here, hopper, and then we'll face 2 into each other. Okay. And so that redstone torch is going to be locking this one. And what we need to do is build this real quick. And we're going to pull the output from that hopper again. And then we'll put a solid block of choice. And then another solid block of choice right here. Very important. And then a piece of redstone dust. Okay. This is just a little bit different. What's going to happen is we're still going to read the output using this comparator. It's going to power this block, and it's going to power this piece of dust. This piece of dust will power this block, and a dispenser is going to pull power from any adjacent block, not diagonal but adjacent. So because this one is powered, the dispenser will get powered as well. So we need to quick grab some stuff from here because I did not prepare that, and we will take this shovel. Thank you very much. Same thing, shovel and lava. And just a quick test, you should see it. Okay, so it came out and went back in, and that is all done. And so that gives you a few more options for design purposes. So you can go here, 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 and you're not interfering with any of the redstone. So there we go. That is a fairly compact no-climb cow farm. I do invite questions, comments, suggestions. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up, leave comments below, and if you really enjoy, feel free to subscribe. But thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.